Most service members think their TSP sits there after retirement. Same account, same growth, same rules. But that assumption has cost people tens of thousands of dollars because once you retire, your TSP does not behave the same way, and the choices you make in that transition window can quietly lock in taxes, limit flexibility, or cut off options you don't even know you had. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happens to your TSP when you retire, what changes, what stays the same, and the biggest mistakes I see retirees make. This is the Adjutant. Let's get into it. Now, let's start with what doesn't change when you retire. Your TSP account does not just disappear. It does not automatically cash out. It does not force distributions the day you retire. Your money just stays invested. Your funds, be it the G fund, the F fund, the C fund, the I fund, or the lifestyle fund, where you just kind of set it and forget it, continue to grow or shrink based on market performance. Now, you still have institutional level low expense ratios, federal protections, access to your account online. So if you're worried that your retirement equals game over for your TSP, well, you know what? It doesn't. But now let's talk about what does change. Now, the moment you retire from the uniformed service, your contributions stop. No more employee contributions. There's no more matching contributions. That means your TSP shifts from an accumulation phase to a preservation and distribution phase. This is where mindset matters, folks. Now, up to this point, most people focus on how much money am I putting in? Now, after retirement, the real question becomes, how am I going to use this money? And that's where people kind of get, tripped up, so to speak. Now, here's a critical rule many people just actually miss. Now, if you separate from service in the year you turn 55 or later, you can access your TSP without the 10% early withdrawal penalty. This is huge, huge. But if you retire before that window, early withdrawals may trigger penalties unless you use specific strategies. So retirement timing does actually matter, folks. Age matters, and coordination absolutely matters. This is why blanket advice like just roll it over can actually be very dangerous. So after retirement, you generally have three main choices, all right? Option one, you can just leave your money in your TSP. Now, this works well for people who like simplicity. They want ultra low fees and they don't need complex withdrawal strategies yet. Now, but TSP has limitations. And this is what you need to understand, folks. Limited investment choices, less flexibility, estate planning, fewer withdrawal customization tools, and others. Now, of course, there's an option two. You roll some or all into an IRA. Now, this option, folks, opens the door to more investment options, Roth conversion strategies, more precise withdrawal control, but it also introduces, are you ready for this? It introduces high fees sometimes, greater responsibility, more room for bad advice. You got all these folks giving you advice. Then there's option three, the hybrid approach. There's always a hybrid in any of these options in life. And that is, many retirees don't realize this is even allowed, that you can leave part in your TSP, roll part into an IRA, use an account for just different purposes. This is often the most powerful option, but it does require intentional planning. So, intentional planning is the key. Now, here's where people get burned. Let's talk taxes. Briefly, but clearly. Traditional TSP contributions were pre-tax. Withdrawals are taxed as income. Roth TSP, on the other hand, contributions were after tax. Qualified withdrawals are tax-free. But here's the trap. There's always a trap. If you roll the Roth TSP into the wrong type of account or fail to track contribution aging rules, you can accidentally create taxable events. Also, required minimum distributions. At a certain age, the government forces you to withdraw from traditional accounts. That can push you into a higher tax brackets, Medicare and IRMA or IRMAA surcharges, and reduce net income. I should say your net retirement income. Now, none of that happens automatically. It happens because people didn't plan ahead. Always plan ahead, folks. Now, there's a withdrawal strategy matters more than balance. This is the mind shift I want you to hear, folks, so listen up. The size of your TSP balance matters, but how you draw from it matters more. Poor withdrawal sequencing can drain accounts faster than expected. You don't want to run out of money while you still got life. It also creates unnecessary taxes. You leave money on the table. Smart sequencing coordinates pension, VA compensation, Social Security, TSP, and IRA withdrawals. This is where retirement becomes a system and not just a number, folks. Now, we're going to talk about common mistakes that I see all the time. Now, let me hit a few of these quickly. Rolling over everything without a plan. Always want to have a plan, folks. Cashing out too early. Again, you don't want to run out of money while you still got all this life. Ignoring tax brackets. That's what I see all the time. You were treating TSP like a savings account. Not updating the beneficiaries. You don't want to go through a divorce, never change it, and the ex inherits everything. I actually, when I was practicing law, did some estate planning and some things like that. And I remember a client coming in and they didn't want somebody to inherit something. I won't get into details, but basically I clearly said, you want to make sure you change it, put it in writing, everything else. Fast forward, the lady passes, nothing was changed, and this person got everything at the expense of another person that was supposed to get all of it. So remember, those are mistakes. You want to update beneficiaries. These aren't small mistakes. They compound quietly over decades. So the bottom line, what is the bottom line, you're asking? Your TSP doesn't end at retirement. It just transitions. And that transition window after you retire is one of the most financially important periods of your entire career. Handled correctly, your TSP becomes a long-term income engine, a tax management tool, a legacy asset. Handled poorly, however, it becomes an expensive lesson, a tax headache, and a missed opportunity. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Information only matters if you understand it, and understanding gives you options. Your TSP isn't just a number on a statement, it's leverage. And retirement isn't about luck, it's about decisions made before the pressure hits. Now, if this video has helped you see your TSP differently, subscribe so you stay ahead of the decisions that matter most. I wish you blessings and blessings. This is the Adjutant, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.